it's kind of a blessing in itself and a mercy, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Surely it's not an everlasting
It's
kingdom.
not an everlasting kingdom,
But
because
you
that
got
was promised to
some.
certain people.
Yeah.
Okay? Which is, you know, evident who that people is. Okay? Oh yeah, go on.
This is Deuteronomy 32:8. It says, when the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people, like the brothers were saying about separation.
Mm-hmm.
There's a separation right there.
So they basically, they received everything after we got. After we got given the fact that the fullness of the best part of land, the best this and best that, these other nations were then considered where they were going to go, where they were going to set up shop, basically. Okay, after Israel had already been given. Okay, we got first pick.
Well, we got Israel. We got the best of the best. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
Alright, so Jacob is his favorite. Okay, he gave him the biggest portion of everything, of the spirit. You know, the best, the most I could give them, offer them. Okay, on this earth, that's what he's given us, man, and it extends beyond the earth. Okay, ultimately, when you get into it, but you know, we will put first in front of all other nations. Okay, and that has never changed, man. The promises still exist. They still are yet to even play out to its fullness. Okay, because you know, even though Israel went into the land of Canaan, we never had control of the whole land of Israel. Because we still had the Philistines fucking with us, man. You know, and we're gonna get that land. That, you know, we're gonna take that land, that part of our land, and we also gonna take parts of. Well, we're gonna take the land of Edom, because there ain't gonna be a nation to occupy it. You know, but our border is gonna be expanded beyond what was currently given to, or currently gotten from to us. Okay, go on.
This is Isaiah 14:1, because basically those people had us in slavery, in derision. Okay, they were lords over us. But then the Lord's gonna well, the scripture tells you, surely your turning of things upside down shall be turned upright, man. So the Lord's gonna put us back in our rightful place.
I think you brought that down. But it's seen as the potter's clay, that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
maybe I'll just construe two scriptures together.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's what we do.
Alright, well, you know, you get the point, right, man. Sometimes we do that, you know, but like I say, man, you know, things are upside down in this society, man, and the scripture said that the world was created for us, so we're gonna be in our righteous order, which is above these other nations. All right, so I'm gonna read Isaiah 14:1. It says, "For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob." That didn't say everyone. Mercy. See, this all pertains to Israel.
Moses really focused on Jacob. Like, I don't know why.
You see, but then these pastors, they missed that out, man. It's just they're gone in the head, man. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them. And who are those strangers? The word there for strangers is ger or gar. All right. And how you know that's pertaining to Israelite foreigners is because when you go to Exodus, let me just get it, Exodus 18 and 3. If you read from 1 to 3, you find out that Moses had a son called Gershom, all right, and he named his son Gershom because he was a stranger.
Born in a strange land.
Yeah, in a strange land. And I'll read verse 3. It says, "And the two sons of which the name of the one was Gershom, for he said, I have been an alien in a strange land." So that shows you Ger really pertains to an Israelite foreigner from a strange land. So that's how you know what that stranger there in that verse is talking about. So now when I go back and read on, it says, "For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel." And then it elaborates and set them in their own land. Why would they have to be set in their own land? Because they weren't in their own land. They was in strange lands. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them. Who's the them? Them other nations. In the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So that shows you that the Lord, how the Lord feels about them. Like,
you were made to be ruled over, man.
You know how many prayers? Yeah, you know how many prayers these Christians be putting up. These blind jakes praying for these white people, praying for these Indian people. Everybody pray together.
All them sort of prayers fall on deaf ears, man. The Most High ain't trying to hear that, because that just goes against what the Most High trying to do.
Yeah.
Okay, that ain't happening. Okay, you can pray as much as you want. Okay, some things are just not given, man, because it's not right to be given. Okay, but yeah, man. Like I said, the whole prophecies that are set about, and even when you go into Genesis 27 and the blessings that Jacob received, it talks about these nations bowing down and serving. That's the purpose. If you're here, if the Most High sees you as nothing, then your whole purpose is just to serve. Okay, He didn't put you up there to be glorified on the earth. That wasn't ever meant for you. That was meant for the sons of Jacob. Okay, and you like going back to the blessing, it's promised that these other nations will serve us. Okay, so that is ultimately the role you are born to fulfill. Okay, you know, I didn't say it out that way. The Most High did, man. But we're just trying to show you how the Most High looks at you, how He views you, what He sees you as. Okay, is ultimately what He sees you as, man. Because your own ideas of how you think you should be treated. Yeah. You know, but the Most High sees you as this, as a particular way, and you're never going to be more than that. You ain't never going to be more than that. He might put your nation up ruling for a time. He might put you up there for a time, but you're not the end game. You're there for the sake of it, basically, because someone needs to punish the children of Israel. So someone has to be brought up and to do that. So, you know, you get your spotlight for your time being, a couple 100 years ruling, or whatever it is. The Most High bringeth you down. Okay, sets up somebody else.
Yeah.
You know.
Precept.
Can't.
Job 12:23. He increaseth the nations and destroyeth them.
Yeah.
He enlargeth the nations and straighteneth them again.
There you go. Okay, like I said, that's nothing to the Most High. He doesn't actually care what happens to you other nations. But when the Most High jacks us up, man, it's from an angle of he's pissed off because he's jealous because he's been doing some bullshit. The Most High said he's a jealous power, man. You don't care how you other nations feel. That's why He left you to your own devices. You believe whatever you want, graven images, all of that.
Yeah,
but Israel, you can't do that. He commanded us, you can't do that. Okay? But then we went and done it. So the Most High fucked us up, man, because He was pissed off with us, man. Okay? That's the passion. That's passion there. That's how the Most High feels about his people. Okay? Israel. There's passion behind that. Okay? These other nations, that it ain't there. It's not there in His heart like that. You know, he wants to destroy you for what you did to Israel, because He's protective of Israel. Okay, that's what these scriptures explain. That's how these prophecies explain themselves. Like, okay,
go ahead. You wanna?
I was gonna get Deuteronomy 7:6. Please up.
Okay. This is Deuteronomy chapter 7. Verse 6, it says, For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto Himself.
Right, Israel are special people. He cares about them.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Right, and that position has never changed, even though we're, you know, trodden down. Okay, His love is still upon us, man. He still cares about us tons more than you other nations, man. We just read you nations are nothing. Okay, so that has never changed, regardless of our situation. Like I said, we're just going through that correction stage, that chastisement. Okay, you don't know.
The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people.
Okay, so it has nothing to do about none of that. Okay, it has nothing to do with any of that.
Cut, Ishmael.
You know, you say what you want about that.
You know,
but it has nothing to do with nothing like that.
You Arabs over there, man. You thought, yeah, you know, we got.
But you know what? The stupid thing about it, yeah, is that Israel is actually the biggest nation on the planet as of this moment in time. Okay, people, you know, they're not privy to that, but that's the truth. But at the point where the Most High made this statement, we was one of the freshest nations to be born. Okay, so we was few in number. We had no land. We couldn't grow like that. So we was small among all the other nations that had already set up their cities and shit.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so like he didn't pick us because we already glorified ourselves with everything that we've already done with these cities and shit. Okay, we was ragtag, man.
Yeah.
Walking through the wilderness and shit. You know what I mean?
You Hamites got a head start, man.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, so you had your hanging gardens and shit. Well, fuck all that shit. Going on.
He says, because you were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people.
Yeah.
But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers.
That promise. And that is the only reason. That's the only reason that the Most High has or needs to bless us how he's going to bless us, man. To keep what he said. Because he already promised it. Okay? And nothing, that covenant, that promise, that bond is powerful, man. And no one can break that. Okay? Go on.
Hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
Alright. Okay, so that was the reason behind him remembering us and taking us out of the land of Egypt, because we was being oppressed. Okay, same situation that we're going to go through today. Okay, we're being oppressed in a land, in a strange land. Okay, and the Most High is going to come and redeem us. Every time the Most High has redeemed anybody, it's just been Israel. You know, it's redeemed Israel only. The other nation, they got fucked up.
Precept.
Okay, there ain't never been a time where Israel was redeemed and so was the other nation. It never happened, man. Because the term redeem is to buy back, to take back, or you know, you need to have been in the first place to be brought back, to come back to something. If you wasn't a part of it originally, then you're not coming back tonight. You've been just brought. You know. Another
cut to these Christians is that, you know, they say because it says a lot Israel this, Israel that in the Old Testament, that's back then, but now it's changed.
But it's the thing, everything in the New Testament is because they've been reading from the book of the prophets, the book of the books of Moses. You already know. This is not new. The New Testament, all the books in the New Testament are not new scriptures. Okay, they are reiterating things that have already been written. Okay, and speaking it to those that did not understand these things already, i.e. the Gentiles, the Israelites that were scattered. They didn't know nothing about that. They didn't know nothing about the Old Testament and the things that pertain in it. So all these books now are just them explaining it to the others.
To the others, yeah.
That's all it is.
Well, that's what the purpose of the book of Romans, Ephesians, Galatians, those Israelite foreigners in those foreign regions, them Gers, they needed explaining, man. Because they wasn't taught the covenants from which was meant to be lawfully passed down from generation to generation. All right. You know,
and plus the understanding of the scriptures had been skewed by, you know, wicked scribes and Pharisees and stuff like that, false prophets and all that kind of stuff. So that true understanding had to be explained.
Well, Paul said that in Galatians. He said, "I marvel you so far removed. There be some that trouble you." And that's like what the brother was saying. There's people that troubled you, teaching false putting their own opinions on the truth.
And that's why they developed all these traditions and all that kind of stuff. But that's why when the Lord came on the scene, they were amazed by his doctrine, because it's not like what they heard or what they were being taught, but it is what's in the scriptures. Most Yahushua wasn't teaching things that weren't in the scriptures already, because that's what he was referring from. That's what he's speaking in the synagogues was the scriptures, the Old Testament. Okay, But it's just because of their understanding. They didn't understand correctly. Okay, so when the Lord came on the scene and explaining these things, man, it was like he was some kind of radical, you know. But he was just breaking down what was in the Old Testament, man, the so-called Old Testament. Okay, and explaining his part in these things. You know, that's all it ever was. Okay.
Where is it? Oh man, because them guys that got butt hurt. What was it? Lewd fellows. Base assault.
Base assault.
Base.
BASEL.
Sword. Yeah, boom. Acts 17. This is it. It says Acts 17 and 2. Yeah, might as well be from 1. Acts 17 and 1. Now when they had passed through Amphipolis and Apollonia, they came to Thessalonica, where was a synagogue of the Jews. Alright? And Paul, as his manner was, went into them, and their and 3 Sabbath days reasoned with them out of the scriptures. Like the brother was saying, they went to express the gospel to men that wasn't raised in the truth of the Bible. All right,
just like we're having to do today.
Many were raised in lies. It says in Paul, verse 3, opening and alleging that Christ must needs have suffered and risen again from the dead, and that this Yahushua, whom I preach unto you, is anointed. And some of them believed and consorted with Paul and Silas, and of the devout Greeks a great multitude.
The devout Greeks are talking about those Israelites, man, in Greece. Okay?
Yeah. And of the chief women not a few. But the Jews which believed not, moved with envy, took unto them certain lewd fellows of a baser sort, and gathered the company, and set all the city on an uproar, and assaulted the house of Jason, and sought to bring them out to the people. And when
just because they didn't believe in the doctrine of the Lord, basically.
Yep. And when they found them not, they drew Jason and certain brethren unto the rulers of the city, crying, these that have turned the world upside down are come hither also, whom Jason hath received, and all these all do contrary to the decrees of Caesar, saying that there is another king, one Jesus. So there was guys that were ship, nail and sinker up Caesar's ass, and just wanted to be a part of Caesar's empire, yet still claim that they follow after the Lord.
But they couldn't see no profit. They see profit in following Caesar.
Yeah.
They're getting paid. But they didn't see no profit in following the Lord.
And that's these damn Christians.
Because all they could see is, oh, if we do this, we get dead, innit? You know? They didn't want to upset nothing. Like, they were happy in the position that they were at, and the scripture told you about that. The Pharisees fearing they would lose their seat, their power that they had, that were given to them, okay, by Rome.
But that, yeah, like brother said, man. But that was a side point, just to express to you that Paul and other apostles were set up to teach other men, Israel, and some believed and some didn't.
But always Israel. Okay, it was always bringing in Israel. Okay, that didn't know. Okay, the same thing that we do today. We bring in Israel, no matter where they come from and what they look like. If they're Israelites and they want to learn and they want to be taught, then that's what we're here for.
That's it.
Okay, to break down the scriptures the right way. Because just like then, people didn't have a full understanding of things. Okay, so we're here to do the same thing, to give people that fuller understanding. Okay?
2 precepts. Romans 11 and 1. I say then, hath God cast away his people? God forbid. For I also am an Israelite, of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. That's New Testament, right? So what is the fulfillment of the Old Testament. Romans 10 and 1. Brethren, my heart's desire, this is Paul, my heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is that they might be saved. You see? So it wasn't a prayer for everybody.
That's right.
Holding hands and saying pray for the white man.
Kumbaya
Yeah, man. That weren't going on, man. Paul said who he was praying for. So that cuts you Christians, man.
Yeah. Like I said, man, there's too many examples, too many proofs, infallible truths, you know what I mean, in the scriptures, man, that just debunk everything you guys have ever said. And every time you bring up something new, it gets fucked up again, man. You know, and you get destroyed with the scriptures again. Because you try and grab anything you can in your ignorance to try and use as a weapon, man. Okay? You know, unless the butter's frozen, the butter's not gonna hurt nobody, man. You know what I mean? Like, you try and grab anything that doesn't benefit you, you know, doesn't help you in any way to try and prove what you're saying. You just can't. Okay? Because the Lord ain't dealing with you, man. That's not the truth.
Hey, we was speaking about the law being written in the inward parts that would be made perfect. So when we're unrighteous, we can ask the Lord for anything and the Lord will give it to us, man. Just like if you have a father, your son comes to you and asks you of something that's righteous, you're gonna want to facilitate that. You'll be like, okay, that's reasonable. I'm gonna give you that. Well, we was reading earlier that the nations are counted as nothing.
Yep.
So let's read Psalms 2 and 8. It says, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance. That ain't no toy truck.
No.
That's nations.
That's rulership.
That's rulership over nations. Just ask. Ask me.
Yep.
Just ask, and I'll give it to you.
That's right. And why would we not receive? I mean, everything's in its due time. I can't ask for that now. It's not gonna happen to you right now. But we know it's gonna happen anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. We know that's a deal that's been done. Okay.
Showing you that we're not on the same level as these other nations, man. Above all people, like we read in Deuteronomy 7 and 6. We just have to ask for you.
You know, even in the scriptures, when we were in the kingdom, man, we're not even gonna ask. Before we even ask,
it's gonna
be given, man.
Because it's part of prophecy.
You know, and that's how blessed Israel is, or will be. Okay? But that's just another level completely.
It says, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the utmost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel.
Who's the them gonna be? You know, if Israel is on one side of the fence, right? Who is the them gonna be? It's everybody else. Evidently, it's everybody else, man. And like I said, the Lord deals with nations. And we brought out the fact that He don't care about you nations. Like, anything can go with you guys, man. any kind of, you know, judgment goes to you guys. Most of it don't care about if this guy did a good deed once in his life. They don't care. He's wicked overall. So him and his nation, because the Lord he picks out your nation. Oh, yeah, this is Moab. Okay, it's the judgment from Moab. Send. Judgment come down. Okay, Moab gets fucked up. That's just that's how the Most High. You ain't got time to micromanage. Yeah, nah.
Like in that, I think it was Hunger Games. You had the people dressed in white, and they'd be like, "Send that missile," and it'll just come down. That fireball would just come down.
Well, that's what's funny, bro. I'm about to say the Most High don't have time to micromanage you, man. Most High has all the time, but he's not even gonna waste time on you. He's not gonna waste time. He has time. He's not gonna waste time on you, man. He just destroy you, your nation. Okay, one person can fuck up everything. You know, and Israel found that out, man. You got wicked leadership, your whole nation get fucked up, man. Okay, it doesn't matter if there was good Israelites. The nation as a whole suffered. Okay, and that's why it's important to keep your brother from sinning, man. To make sure he's keeping the commandments. Okay, it's not just about you keeping the commandments, but making sure your brother keeps the commandments too, man. Okay, because one person, one rotten egg in the nation, man, can fuck up a lot of shit, man. Okay, and the Most High bring judgment for not dealing with it. Okay, so we find that out, and there's accounts about them sort of situations, man. Okay, the law and all that kind of stuff, it shows you that. Okay, so that's how the Most High deals with things, man. I know we're going a bit off topic with certain things,
just to add to the brother's point,
you know,
Scriptures tells you, man, I can't find it now, but you know, Scripture tells you if the king is wicked, then so are his servants.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, probably.
Yeah. Let's go with what.
Isaiah 42:8, please.
This is Isaiah 42 and verse 8. It says, "I am the Lord, that is my name, and my glory will I not."
Sorry, I am the Lord. What's that say there? Yahweh. Okay, I am
Capital
Yahweh.
Yes.
That is my name. Okay, that's case closed again on Nate. Okay, the Lord said it.
That's right.
Okay, go on.
I am the Lord, that is my name. That's what I cut. Yeah, that's a beautiful cut, man. I need a highlight. No, I'm joking. That is my name, and my glory will I not give to another, neither my praise to graven images.
Okay, so the Most High is not going to give his glory unto another, man. The Most High set up Israel to be representatives of himself. That's why he calls us, well, that's why he calls himself the God of Israel. Okay, we're an extension of him. Okay, we make him look bad when we fuck up. That's why he gets pissed off, because it's to defend his righteous name, his great name. Okay, when we're doing wickedness, I'll be like, what the fuck is, you know what I mean? We make the Most High look bad, just like when a bratish kid throwing tantrums in the shopping mall, man, is making you look stupid, man. Okay, and you get vexed with the child because you're acting up. Okay, same thing. Okay, but he ain't gonna give his glory to any other people. Okay, or any other god for that matter, because these other nations got their own gods and shit. Most ain't down with the other nations like that. Okay, go on. What was that on that one? Give me 46 and 13.